I think so.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. Welcome back to our top 25 singers of all time countdown series. We've each made our own top 25 list, and every week we are revealing one more person on that list. We've already done 25 and 24. Today is number 23. And I believe it is my turn to kick it off. So here we go. My 23rd favorite singer of all time is one that I expect will be on all three lists. And I also expect you guys will have him quite a bit higher. But I've got Robert Plant at number 23. He's the golden god, the archetype of the rock and roll frontman. He set the standard for rock vocals, I think, especially within hard rock. I think most people probably think of him as having like a high voice, but I think he has a really huge range. He sings quite low on the verses of Good Times, Bad Times. 16, I fell in love with a girl as sweet as could be. But then, of course, he's capable of getting way up into the stratosphere as well. Capable of like earth-shaking power on tracks like You Shook Me and Since I've Been Loving You. Everybody trying to tell me he's also able to deliver, I think, surprising tenderness on songs like Going to California and The Rain Song and All of My Love. Speak to me only with your eyes. It is to you I feel this. I think he's really, really versatile. I think he's also done a remarkable job of adapting to his changing voice and his changing range over the years. I think even before Zeppelin ended, his voice was already starting to show signs of changing and slowly evolving over time. I think if you listen to In Through the Outdoor, he's already got a little more deepness in his voice. But he always seemed really aware of his instrument. He knows how to use it really well. He knows how to utilize what he has at any given moment in time with any record that he's working on. Some of my favorite performances of his actually come post-Zeppelin. I think tracks like Blue Train and When the World Was Young from Walking into Clarksdale are really great, really good vocal deliveries. Or, his work with Alison Krauss, where he had to learn how to sing basically an entire different style of singing. He had to learn how to do harmonies and, be in tune with someone else singing with him and react to their inflections and what they were doing. A track like Killing the Blues is a great example of that. Sadder than losing yourself in love. And yeah, I don't think anyone should be surprised that he's on this list. And I'm sure you will talk more about other aspects of his vocal prowess on future episodes. So there you go. Number 23, Robert Plant.
How about we talk about him this episode, because he's my number 23. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I actually didn't think Robert Plant was going to make my list. And I remember doing the Zeppelin episode, very rarely did we actually talk about Plant's vocals. Like, I almost just kind of take the guy for granted anymore. I'm sure he was on it, but the thing that kind of sparked us doing this list was Rolling Stone's list from a couple weeks ago. Did he even make their list this go around? Does anyone know?
63 on Rolling Stone's current list.
So yeah, I think the first things you think about Robert Plant are like the big high-pitched vocals, the like cock rock kind of swagger. He's got that really cool way where he like kind of holds his hand like this and holds the microphone cable and all that. But Jason's right. He really doesn't get enough appreciation as a singer. And one word that we don't use very often that I think he brings to the table, probably as much or more than any rock and roll singer ever, is excitement. He just makes everything exciting. He's incredibly captivating. And, it's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint or describe just how good his voice sounds. It's just a little bit of everything, and it makes it tremendously powerful and tremendously engaging. The way he does like an immigrant song, totally badass. You know, sometimes he gets mocked a little bit from being the guy that was saying baby all the time, but he's more than that. Like, he definitely has that sexuality to him. I love little things that he does, like in Kashmir when he does the ooh yes. That's incredibly cool. Jason's right. The softer side that he has, like I'm Going to California, or especially for me, and That's the Way, I think is absolutely beautiful. And I don't think he gets enough credit for his sort of storytelling ability. Like the way he conveys some of the songs is really cool. Like during Dancing Days, he almost has like this stagnant, robotic kind of persona where he's like, you know, like, I've got my flower, I've got my power. Like he isn't just doing his like machismo, like I'm trying to get the girl thing all the time. Like he can serve the song. I've got my flower, I've got my power, I've got a woman you know, and hey, what can I do? Like the way he does like the my little lover on a midnight train. Like he can shape his voice to kind of tell the story a lot more than people give him credit for. And yeah, his post Zeppelin stuff, like his solo stuff, I think he's got a really nice kind of more, not poppy, but a little bit more accessible, less gravelly smoothness to it. Like in songs like I'm in the Mood, or in like Big Log and stuff like that sound really good. Your love is cradled in knowing. Eyes in the mirror. But the sound of his voice is just so unique. It's like this cigarette smoking male angel that's incredibly high, powerful, but it has that grit. Like there's nothing like really, like he gets high, but there's nothing girly about it. Just a voice from the gods, so much power in it. And yeah, just excitement is the word I think I got to use with Robert Plant. He brings it all. Crazy we landed in the same spot. There are some hard rock singers that I like more than him, but he's kind of the godfather. And yeah, got to talk about him. Is it a trifecta for 23? The Jordan year?
I think so. 23, it's a little low. For Mr. Plant. No, my 23. Number 133 on the last Rolling Stone list. Not a conventional great singer. He's more in line with the Bobby Dylans, and you know, maybe Elvis Costello, that doesn't have the voice of a golden god like Robert Plant, but I think few singers have been able to convey emotion like Neil Young, my number 23. You know, he's not one of the most conventionally powerful, beautiful vocalists of all time. It's weird hearing him in a band like CSNY, where you have like three of like the most perfect gifted singers with beautiful falsettos and rich middles, and just, you know, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, just incredible singers. And then you have kind of like the leathery, broken, earthy tones, salt of the earth of Neil Young. Gotta get down to it. Soldiers are cutting us down. Should have been gone long ago. And yet, like, he's not out of his element or out of his league at all, even surrounded by, you know, all the people who he has sung with over the years. Linda Ronstadt's and Nicolette Larson's on Comes a Time. You know, he's the center, he's the eye of the hurricane, around which everything else spins around, and yet he's always just like the perfect tone, the perfect counterbalance. You know, his range is limited, other than maybe like Ozzy Osbourne. I don't think there's been like a more limited lead vocalist that commands as much respect as Neil does. And I think it's just the way he's able to blend it into so many different varieties of music. You know, he started out kind of psych rock vein, something like Mr. Soul from Buffalo Springfield. For the thought that I've caught at my head is the event of the season. And he did some country stuff on his self-titled debut. did great folk rock on after Gold Rush and Comes a Time. He could do like druggy blues rock. Tonight's the Night, song like Lookout Joe, where he's just like this damaged, drugged out, broken, bluesy singer.
A hip drag queen and a sidewalk and street wheeler coming down the avenue.
And it just works so well with whatever he's doing. He does Southern rock really well, Alabama, Southern Man, Bite the Bullet. And there's always beautiful stuff going around. His guitar works great. Always lots of backup vocalists. The music's always great. Pretty on, Harvest. And yet it's like the ugliness, the weathered leather of his vocals, like shows another side to all these songs where things can sound beautiful, but there's like, a human element, some realism there. And I think he's great. The raw emotion that he brings, even disguised on trans with the vocoder, like you can still feel the emotion coming through from his vocals. I think he's just incredible. I think even at 77, he sounds great. Toast in Wyoming. He's still a strong vocalist because he knows his limitations and he knows how to sing to almost any part. And you want a singer with pure clarion emotion. I think few in the history of music did it better than old Neil Young.
All right. Very nice. I was wondering if we would ever land on the same singer in the same episode, and it didn't take long.
Well, before we started recording, I was going to ask, do we think we're even going to have like over or under 3 repeats at all? Like, I think there are a few that we'll definitely all have, but question answered. Me and Jason, at least. I didn't expect Plant to make Jason's list at all, so
He made it. All right, so let us know some of your favorite singers down in the comments. Make sure you go back if you haven't seen the previous episodes, number 25 and 24, check those out. And make sure you check back next week when we reveal our 22nd favorite singers. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and check the video description for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, website, merch, and Patreon. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.